somber episode. I got emotional, y'all. I really did, actually, because I thought that was like a sad episode, and it's just the twin on twin violence got to me. I'm not gonna lie. Welcome back. This is my channel. I'm Melissa. I have Sailor Tortilla, and then I also have Undress. Undress, you didn't write your little display thingy that says what team you're on. Let me guess. You're not on a team.
Oh, I didn't. You know what? I just want people to stop dying. How about that?
No, we want the bloodshed. This is Westeros. We know what we signed up for. Awesome. So you guys are watching after the fact, I'm sure. So please hit the like button, hit subscribe. We're going to be doing this every single week until the end of the season. So it's a fun time. You know, we get to kind of break it down character by character because there's so many characters, so many storylines, so many words are being said. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear if you guys are on Team Black or on Team Green, or you're on Team Dragon, or are you no team? Are you Switzerland? Are you over there on Essos just chilling? Let me know down in the comments. But we're gonna dive in. And you know how I like to start, y'all. What are your ratings? Give them to me.
Oh, I really like this one. This was Can I say like 4.5 dragons out of 5? I want to leave some room for better options, but this felt like Game of Thrones.
I will allow decimals. That is totally fine. And what about you, Andres?
I'm gonna give it a generous 3. I wasn't that big of a fan of this episode.
We're always like opposites. I think I give it a 4.
All right, right in the middle.
Yeah, like I don't know, like it felt like a little bit slow, but I feel like we got some great character moments, and then there were things that happened that makes me want to watch next week, and I think that's a hallmark of like some good TV. Like I want to keep on watching this, so I give it a 4. I learned from last time when I was like I gave it a 3, but then I got some time away from it. I thought I really liked it. But maybe my mind will change. Evidently, for me, I need time away from the episode to really give my rating, but whatever. This is a live reaction. Cool. So let's talk about it. Where should we start? Again, so many things happen.
I was really excited that crabs were mentioned. Crab.
I forgot.
Well, there was a crab scene. A small crab was found on the beach.
Where? By who? I forgot.
Maybe
that guy that's friends with the guy that saved the sea snake. Their names are like Adam and something
Adam
else
and
with
Alan. Alan with a Y, because this is Westeros. I do
Lots
have
of small folk in this episode.
Yes, I noticed that too, and I was like, okay, House of the Dragons. We didn't really get that much small folk stuff in the original show, so I was like, this is kind of cool because you don't really get to see their point of view, like what this feels like for them when they're just trying to like survive and not worried about dragons and bloodlines. So I like that. Do you have any more thoughts on Alan Hall? I feel like he's evidently going to be very important, and so is that Hugh guy who has a struggling, sick daughter, Hugh Hammer. I saw his name.
Yeah, it's like the show stopped for a second and became a different show. But I welcome that because it expands the universe and it builds on the world rather than taking from it. Yeah, those guys, I mean, they haven't done anything of note yet. They're just like scheming. I wouldn't even call it scheming though. It's just like that guy owes us. That guy is like also like the real king. Like I kept thinking about this whole episode every time they showed the sea snake and Rhaenys. Rhaenys is the real queen. If we really want to be,
the queen that never
about
was
this whole thing.
The queen that never was. She must hate that name.
Why do you feel like she's the real queen?
She was older than Viserys.
So
yeah, but Viserys was the first one ever to like
be voted.
I know he changed the rules, but
yeah, he was the first one ever to even like really consider a woman.
Still, but like he was like backed in a corner. He was like, "Well, my firstborn son died, so I guess my Rhaenyra's got to go."
I'm angry at my brother.
Which was his firstborn? Oh, that was his firstborn son.
Yeah. And then he died in childbirth. So I mean, he chose Rhaenyra, but because like he felt like he had no choice.
Yeah, he was angry at Daemon.
Episode.
But then he had choices later.
Yes, and I don't think they ever really explore why he never named Aegon as his heir. Maybe I don't know. We're talking about.
I feel like all his choices were poor. Yeah. Like he had Daemon, he had his little boy. Oh my God, are we going to summarize the episode? Because all I want to do is talk about Aegon's performance. That actor did such a great job.
I created a banner for you. Go ahead. Talk about Aegon. Go ahead.
Yeah, this episode had such a strong start with, like, such great
Mhm.
performance. Like, you just put these people in one room,
Mhm.
put it all in chaos, give them a great script. Like, that kid, he's a snivy, icky kid, and this episode, you're like, "Wow, human emotions. His son got murdered. He's really mad." I don't
Yes.
know.
And
I found it compelling.
he's acting very emotionally, but then again, that's like a good thing for me, us on black teams, sorry, Team Black, because like
He
we
sucks.
want you to be more impulsive so that you can fuck up like you really did in this episode by firing is Otto his grandfather, right? Yeah. By firing your grandfather, who is like, okay, he's Team Green, but he's a smart guy. He's look, his grandson died, and immediately he's like, okay, this is a strategy. Let's use this. Like he's just
They
always
PR'd that.
he is diabolical. He used that as a really harsh PR move. I was like, you're diabolical, but you are a smart man. And Aegon,
But he's surrounded by these stupid, white-haired, smooth-brained
Yes.
people. Inbred
Yes.
people.
Oh, hello, Rob Black.
Hi.
Aegon's rage got me emotional. I felt it. You look, I got emotional in this episode, but it wasn't because of Aegon. It was because of that twin fight, which we'll get to. I don't know. That was really emotional. That was like some really good acting, but I'll get more into it later because we're still talking about Aegon. But
Hashtag twin fight.
hashtag twin fight. Aegon Targaryen. Yeah, so let's talk more about because there's like a really bold move here that he does. He fires Otto, and I was kind of shocked at that because that means Otto has gotten fired twice from the job, and then he pulls a move where he promotes Criston Cole as the new Hand of the King. Is that really gonna hold up? I don't know.
No, his pin is not gonna go into that metal armor. I'll tell you that much. That's not gonna work unless it's magnetic.
I did think about that. I was like, wait, how are you gonna put that on? It's not gonna work.
Think.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless he just has a wardrobe change now. Like if a general becomes like Secretary of Defense, they start wearing a suit.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
hate that guy. I hate that character so
I
much.
hate him so much. Okay, wait, let's go back.
He
Let's
got
go.
slapped around though.
Criston Cole.
Pow, pow.
Okay. The moment this man points at this other dude's cloak saying it represents purity and fidelity, I'm like, dude, you're fucking the queen. What you mean? It's the guilt. He feels so guilty because it is his fault for not watching the royal children because you were banging the grandmom. It's your fault. And then you sent that twin to his death. And he felt that he had no choice because you're his boss. I hate him.
He's a bad guy, man.
Evil. I hate Criston Cole. God. And then we thought he was hot. I mean, he still is, but he's bad.
We had that whole scene too where he's walking up to the other guy like, "Hey, where were you? Where were you? But where were you, bro?"
I'm happy he questioned him. He was like, well, where were you, Lord Commander? Oh, that's right. You weren't there because nobody knows you were banging the mom. What do you guys
So
think?
many things happened in this episode.
So many things. What are your thoughts on Criston Cole, Andres?
Oh, why's it got to be me? I didn't even get to say how I felt about Aegon, by the way.
Okay, we can go back.
Still on Aegon.
Okay, but feel free. This is
Criston Cole, I don't really have like that much feelings about. I feel like he's just kind of like pushed around every which way. The only like offensive move he made in this episode was sending the twin over to kill Rhaenyra, which I kind of feel like was a low risk, high reward move, honestly. You lose you send one guy. It's a perfect move. It almost worked. It's like the perfect guy to send over. If it doesn't work, you lose one person. If it works, you end the war. I think it was a good, actually, I'll give Criston Cole credit for that move. It's low risk, high reward.
He definitely felt ballsy because he was just hanging out in the queen's quarters, like in his pajamas, like he lives there right afterwards too. Like he definitely felt proud of himself.
It's a nightly banging thing.
It was a good move.
I mean, Otto didn't think so. He literally was like, God help us all. Like he thought it was a dumb plan. Because
it was a great performance too. Why is everyone in this show so talented?
So good. They're all fantastic. Otto Hightower. So are we not gonna see him again? Wait, let me go back to Aegon because you had thoughts. Go ahead, Andres.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say Aegon is like the most well-written character on the show right now because we know he can be an asshole, but he's not like Joffrey where he's like one note, just like evil all around. He's like this character that like you can still relate to. Like, okay, he loves his son. There's something human there. He
Mhm.
gets really upset when his son. So it's like the perfect mix of like he's unpredictable, but he makes sense. So that's like a good character to watch because like you don't know what to expect, but you know he's not gonna like disappoint you like in the way where Daemon is unpredictable and sometimes it doesn't even make sense. Like he'll smack Rhaenyra around a little bit.
Mhm.
Um,
Hate
but
it.
yeah, so I will give the writers credit. I won't give them credit on a lot of things, but they've done well with Aegon, making him a good fleshed out character, and yeah, the actor is doing well as well.
I come back with new news that I did not know. Criston and Alicent in the book apparently were not together.
Are they not? Hmm.
Mm.
I think I recall it being like a rumored thing. So the book is written like a history, like a which is also like a compilation of like different texts. Some are like pro Rhaenyra, some are
Mhm.
pro Hightower. And so it's like written as a history, kind of like taking different sources and being like, well, some people say like when this kid died, Rhaenyra was smiling. Some people say she cried because she was such like a good-hearted queen and stuff. So it's like a lot of hearsay in the book.
Mhm.
So it's not like dependable, but I do feel like there was at least rumors of Alicent and Criston Cole in the book.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Got it.
Still a
Okay.
weird decision to put them together. I don't know what his thing is.
I mean, I think it's making it interesting to watch because she clearly feels very guilty. Like she even thinks like the murder of her grandson was because of her sins. And I think in the beginning she's Otto and her are talking about it and she's crying and crying and she yells out, "I've sinned." And then he's like, "For what?" And then
I
she
don't want to
doesn't
know.
say it. Yeah. Well,
I'm
in the
with him. I don't
beginning,
want to know.
that's at the end, but in the beginning, she just yells out as she's crying, "I've sinned," and then he's like, "For what?" And then she doesn't say anything. But in my head, I'm like, because I'm fucking Kristen Cole. Like, this happened because of this purpose. So, I it was an interesting choice to have them have this sexual relationship because it's kind of like it's messing with her head, kind of like she thinks all of these things are happening because of what she's doing, and I think it's interesting thing to play to see how she's gonna navigate. There's this war, but there's this thing, and is like, what am I doing? The gods and all these things. So I think it's interesting to watch her battle the guilt. Any more thoughts on Alicent Hightower?
I like Alicent.
You like
She's on
her,
the wrong
like?
side, but I like her. I just this is a great show because you understand every character. It's
Mm-hmm.
great. It's good. Um, she's got issues.
Yeah.
They've done a lot to make Alicent and Rhaenyra like kind of protect their character, right? Like they did the thing last year where Alicent didn't just want Aegon to be king. She had like a moment with Viserys where she believed that's what he wanted. And then now this year they've done with Rhaenyra, if you want to like skip over to her, with Rhaenyra, they've like completely detached her from the whole revenge and she's like upset to even hear about it and all that stuff.
Yes.
So like they've really the show Rhaenyra and Alicent are a lot less ruthless and I guess in that sense more like likable
Mm-hmm.
than the ones in the books.
Yeah, I thought. Oh wait, comment. For most of her life, she was smashing for duty. Let her smash out lust. I say, are you talking about? Oh, talking about Allison.
Alicent, yeah.
Yeah, I said that last episode. I was like, no, I get it. He's there. You're widowed. You're young and beautiful. You've never had a passionate sexual life, so I get it, girl. I
Why
get it.
haven't they given her a new husband?
I don't know. Maybe because it doesn't matter anymore since she's Dowager Queen. She's no longer Queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
I feel like they gave what's the name of the queen from Game of Thrones?
Cersei.
I thought they gave Cersei a new husband.
He tried to. So Tywin tried to marry her off to one of the Tyrells, but that never came to be because Cersei was like, "Oh hell no, I'm not marrying somebody else."
Yeah, but it was an idea. It was an idea at one point.
Yeah, it was definitely. Do you have thoughts on Rhaenyra age?
I love Rhaenyra. This episode, she spoke more than just get Daemon, no, sorry, the other one, Aemon.
I want Aemon
These
Targaryen.
names.
Yes, I know.
That's all she said in the last episode. I don't know. I mean, I think the more interesting parts of this episode were not like the main characters. It was like all the extra stuff that was going on, like the hanging of the rat catchers and the small folk and that really,
Oh
really
my
nice
God,
prostitute.
don't have their names here, but let's talk about that really quick. I was kind of disappointed that like Blood and Cheese were kind of found out pretty quickly. Like one of them got smashed in the face by the king, and then Cheese got hung. And I guess I figured they would have played it out like a mystery a little bit longer, just to keep the palace feeling more paranoid. Like we don't know who's around us and we don't know who to trust, but then they kind of like figure out who the killers are pretty quickly. And I was surprised they made that choice in the writing. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it is pretty quick pacing. Like season 1 had pacing kind of like this because you knew that every episode had to skip a couple years, so they had to just like get the story done. I think this is a symptom of that. I agree with you that it was too quick.
It was quick. Kind of like because they were very like stealthy and sneaking in. I thought maybe they were gonna have a plan of sneaking out safely and nobody would, even realize. Because like Lair is strong. This guy shows up again who knows everything. Is the one who knows immediately, like, yeah, we caught him and we saw the head in the bag. We caught him. It's like, okay.
Speaking of the head,
Yes.
oh my God, when they sewed the little kid's head and they had the body and the head moving kind of at different intervals, I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was great filmmaking.
Yeah, this definitely felt like it was filmed differently because I noticed a lot of close-up shots of eyes and hands and like really slower pans of the camera. Did anybody else feel that? The energy felt different in this one.
It almost felt like it was on film. Like I even saw like what I swore was film grain, and I'm like, no, I think this is shot on digital. But it was in the scene with Otto and Alicent. But
Yeah,
I don't know if they're doing like a mixed media kind of thing.
I don't know. I do not know either. And then we see Daemon Targaryen and Rhaenyra have a very interesting conversation because I even questioned Daemon's motivations in the first episode because I just feel like I never really know what he is fighting for. Is it really just for himself and his ego and pride and anger towards his brother? Or is it like, is he really fighting for like the love he has for Rhaenyra? And then Rhaenyra kind of brings up this conversation as well in this episode. What do you guys think of this scene?
Man, I don't understand that guy. I still don't. I'm glad that they had that conversation because I just went, girl, I don't get him either. I wouldn't trust him either. He got really mad when she asked him if this was like about his beef with his brother. Like, why would you get so mad about something that's, I don't know. I guess there's got to be a kernel of truth to it. But Damon's a character that I still do not claim to understand. It frustrates me. It actually frustrates me. Like, that actor is such a fun actor, and his character is like, I don't know. He's got a long neck dragon. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame because I think Daemon Targaryen is supposed to be George R.R. Martin's like favorite character he ever wrote.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's translating that well in the show. It's kind of just like good character is involved with like a lot of big moments in the show, but overall, like, does the character like make that much sense the way they lay out the plot of the show? Probably not always. And not in a way where he's like an interesting wild card, like how I mentioned with Aegon. Like you don't know what he's gonna do, but at least you kind of understand like what he's grounded in. Whereas with Daemon, it's just like, eh. They did a good job though of fleshing it out a little more. Like, oh, he's still upset about not being king. So you don't know what he's gonna do because like he loves Rhaenyra, but he wants to be king and blah blah blah.
I think it's just like a mix of everything. Like he does love her, but he does kind of like also resent her a bit because she essentially was chosen over him to be heir. But I feel like, dude, you've got to know that of course they feel like they can't fully trust you with this much responsibility of being in the council and being heir because they don't know what you're going to do. So it's just like he's coming off a little bit childish in that way, maybe, or I don't know what the right word is for it, but
I think that's the closest thing I can come to, because otherwise I just don't understand. Like, how old is this character supposed to be? Like 45? 50? No, older.
I don't know.
It's kind of impossible to say. How old is Rhaenyra supposed to be at this point, even?
Is it like her 20s?
I
Right?
thought 30.
I don't know. I've lost track. The time jumps last year were a total, like,
I also don't know
mind
how
fuck.
anybody's related. It's like
You
this
don't know?
guy's the uncle, but also because I was saying, I was yelling at the TV, something about Otto Hightower and Aegon. Oh, he was getting fired, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
just tell him. Oh no, yeah, Criston. I was like, tell him you fucked his mom and his sister. Ah!
Yes. Damon is definitely her uncle and her husband. That's how they're related. Okay, we do have a scene here with Aemon Targaryen cuddling up in a brothel house.
Yeah, he's got like a prostitute, therapist, like mom type person that he
He was in
talks
this
to.
position.
Yes. And I thought, okay, is this just to show like, yeah, you see, he does have a vulnerable side. He's
I think
literally
he's allowed
being,
to have a vulnerable side.
of course he's
I think
allowed
so.
to.
I think they're trying to be like, oh, his inner child still hasn't healed from the
From the
losing
fucking
his
eye
eyeball.
thing.
But
He has
isn't he
never
like
gotten
15?
over it.
Isn't he
That's
supposed to be
crazy.
15? He's supposed to be a little baby. I'm Googling this.
He's
In the
15 in
book,
this.
in the book, he's probably like 15 or 18 or something. But in the show, I think
He looks
maybe,
way
I don't
older.
know, college age.
He looks way older. Man, and he looked really kind of emaciated. Like he had in a certain position. I was like, I see your ribs, dude. But yeah, I was gonna say something and I forgot. Oh my
It was
goodness.
about his vulnerability.
Vulnerability. He finally does say, like, I regret the thing that happened with Lucerys. But when he did mention they used to make fun of me when we were little, I was like, are you still like, I mean, okay. I sorry, I sound very insensitive because this is very true. Some scars you never get over. But he even said it back then. I lost an eye, but I got the biggest dragon. Hello.
Yeah, but he said that to like the people that had bullied him, right?
He said it to his mom. He's like, "Do
He
not
said it to
grieve
his
me,
mom.
mother. I
Okay,
lost an
but
eye, but I
you know
got the
how
dragon."
like you say something to like people in your life, and then when you're with your therapist, you say another thing. We saw him with his therapist.
Oh, I guess
She
so.
seemed lovely. I cannot wait to see more of that
She's
character.
being paid to say those things, but I guess that's
Has
how a
Game of
therapist
Thrones
is.
ever had a mean prostitute?
A mean prostitute? I
No
don't
mean
know.
prostitutes.
I don't think
Well,
so.
I mean, how about the lady that betrayed Tyrion?
Oh,
Oh,
Boom.
her. Shay.
Shay, but she lied out of like being really hurt by Tyrion for trying to send her away.
Come on.
Yeah,
He was messed up. He was gonna
it was.
die.
It was messed up. Hey, she was a woman scorned. Okay, but Aemon found a coin, and I thought that was gonna come back somehow. Because like he finds it and then he smirks, and then like, what are we supposed to get from that?
I'm so glad you mentioned the coin.
Yeah.
It looked like the Linkin Park logo. I don't know what it was, but it looked just like the Linkin Park logo, like a little guy with dragonfly wings. Linkin Park.
Damn it! I thought you had something interesting to say.
No.
He does
I
not
just
have
really love
something
Linkin
relevant
Park.
to say. This is like our texting threads.
It's always that in politics.
Yeah.
No one asks for politics.
But am I supposed to interpret that like he went and told Laris about it, and then he found like he knew that maybe it's one of these rat catchers? Because what does the coin mean?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't
Absolutely
know.
no
At first,
idea.
I thought it was like he knew they were in there looking for him, maybe, but I don't know. I wasn't certain that was how I was supposed to interpret
Maybe
it.
it was part of his clothing, but I was not paying attention to the clothing. Also, I just dropped in the private chat the cover of the Linkin Park album. It looked like that little guy with the little
Thank you.
wings.
I will click on that maybe later, but I appreciate you so much. I have written down some more notes here. Oh, okay. Do we believe Daemon did not order to kill a child? Do we believe it?
That's the problem with him. You can't trust him. I don't know.
That's how the characters feel. The characters feel like they can't trust him. But do we feel like Daemon would order because like Helena, because that's the thing about with Rhaenyra, she was like, I would never do that to Helena. So then would Daemon do that to Helena?
I think so.
One of her kids.
I think so.
I don't know.
I think it's kind of like this again. The writers kind of want certain people to be more in the book, in my opinion.
To want them to be more what? Because you cut out a bit. Repeat.
Sorry. My my mic just fell off. Hold on.
It's okay. It's all good. It's okay.
Okay, cool. So what I was going to say was that the writers want people to be more like likable than they were in the book. In the book, it's obvious. Like Daemon, he does ask for like he doesn't even. They're not even going after Aemon. They're going after the twins.
The kid. Okay. All right.
Show Daemon. I really don't know. I don't know what they want us to think. To be honest, I think it's vague on purpose, probably, so that people can draw their own conclusions. I do think they want probably more people to be Team Green than were last season. Like they want to make that, like actually, a rivalry. Because last year was all Team Black, right? 90%.
I think so, because a lot of it was, Viserys was still alive for like a good portion of it, and he was always Rhaenyra. So we were kind of behind the king's decision as well. Team Black.
I really miss the king in this episode. They talked about him so much. I'm like, yeah, I do miss that nice old man.
Yes, and Otto, which kind of surprised me because he mentioned like your father, he had dignity, he like all these positive qualities, and I don't know. I thought maybe he's saying all these things because that means Viserys was easier to control and manipulate. Is that why?
I definitely think that's part of it for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I was reading it that way too then. Okay. Because now he kind of has like a grandson that's just acting a little bit more impulsive and emotional. And he's like, fuck. Can't believe we're stuck with you.
The thing with the rat catchers does bother me.
I just remembered something because I've seen fans talk about this, but they mentioned Daemon. And I feel like
who is that?
Book fans,
I see
him going crazy right now because I kept seeing his name brought up in the fandom. I haven't looked into it because I don't want spoilers, but I'm guessing we're maybe gonna get him maybe next season, this season.
Yeah, but who is he? They're like, you have another son. You do? What? Who?
Yeah.
That's my question. Why isn't he in the castle then? Why is he all the way in Old Town?
They sent him there strategically, I think, for some reason that I
can't
recall. But no. I think he was in last season. Like he was a kid, right? He was like
we
a
met
little kid.
Him for real?
I do not remember another kid in that castle.
He has a title, Daemon the Daring.
Daemon the Daring. Okay, do not spoil Raw Blackfire. Do not spoil.
He's daring to exist.
Keep it at the name. Don't spoil, please. Thank you so much. Okay, so
how old is this guy?
I don't know.
I think he's the youngest one of the three.
Is that why he's sent away in Old Town? And I just don't get why he's not living in the castle with his family. It doesn't make sense to me.
He could be a squire, not a squire. What was the thing that the guy from the Iron Islands, Greyjoy. That thing. He's a ward.
A ward?
A ward. No, there's no way he's a ward.
No.
He's probably like, man, I want to say he was like in a strategic marriage or something.
Oh.
I don't remember, but he's there for like some strategic reason.
I just keep hearing that later on he's going to be very important, and then like fans just keep waiting to see him pop up. So I would imagine on Twitter right now they might be getting excited. Rob Blackfire, tell me. Well, I guess you are excited because we put yes and 3 exclamation marks. um, okay, but I thought that was interesting that he's finally mentioned. So hopefully we'll see him this season or maybe next season. Who knows? And let's talk about there's a quick scene with Alan and Adam talking about sailing with Corlys, the sea snake. Alan is like, I don't want to go and do it, but Adam is like, why not? It'll be a great honor. And we don't know how that's relevant yet. Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
I want to know how that girl got her scars. Forget those dudes. I don't know those guys. How did that girl get her scars?
That is something that I also put down in my notes. How did she get that scar? Is it on her neck? Because I was looking, but I didn't see anything. It was right. Yeah, it was on her neck.
It's
Yeah, I
white.
kind of thought it was her neck too.
Does anybody remember how she got those scars?
I wasn't sure if we were
yet.
supposed to know. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to know.
Okay. But let's get back to Massaria because okay. In a unexpected move, the white worm, Massaria. Scar girl. In a unexpected move, Rhaenyra just lets her go. And she is so ever so grateful. She's on her way back to the boat that's gonna take her wherever the fuck she's gonna go. But then she notices the wrong twin is on Dragonstone. And she's like, wait a moment. And then we see her, I mean, it cuts away. And then we see the part that was giving me so much anxiety and stress. I mean, I knew that Rhaenyra wasn't gonna get killed, but I was still like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And it was like a lot of like palace intrigue in that way. And I thought we were gonna see Massaria like walk in and get someone like go help the queen, but then we don't see her anymore. Instead, we just see the Team Green twin sneak into her room, and then Rhaenyra is there with her maid, and then she tells her maid to go and get one person. I was like, girl, tell him to get the army. And then they come back in, and then I thought we were gonna see Massaria, but then we never see her. So did Massaria send the Team Black twin up to go find the brother? Is that what we're supposed to get from that?
That was my question too. They established it and they didn't show her do it.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to just kind of deduce that's what happened, or else that little moment was pointless if not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let us talk about the twin fight. I thought this was very well done because it was very emotional. It was very hard for both of them to be fighting each other, even though they were already on the wrong, not the wrong side. They were already on the opposite side of this war. But when it came down to like actually fighting each other, it was so emotionally, very physically, obviously, but also really emotionally hard for them. And it really broke my heart that there was a unaliving of thyself scene. Like, seriously? You killed yourself? I felt sad. I did.
He did too.
He was crying.
Yeah, I thought that was great though. I thought it was so believable, and like, it's like a tiny micro universe of what happens in war when brother kills brother and whatever, and all that poetic stuff. But when they tucked their ponytails into their shirts, I had no idea who was who.
I didn't know who was who either.
One had a very nicely conditioned long like ponytail, and the other one had like a ratty, dry, like cut straight across ponytail.
I had no clue who was who, but when they started fighting and when one brother was sent to pretend to be the other brother, I was like, oh, this is why there's twins in this story for this scene, especially to sneak into Dragonstone. Do we have thoughts, Andres, on the twin fight?
No, it was a good moment. Probably the most exciting moment in the show for sure. Mm-hmm. And again, I say good move by Criston Cole.
Oh my God.
Very, very low risk, high reward. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's evens out because they got the twin on their side. They lost their twin. I think the twin on Rhaenyra's side was even higher ranking. So, good move.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to be on Team Green, dude.
Again, I hate all of this because I'm team people need to stop dying. But
Team Dragon.
If you just look at it from a mathematical standpoint,
I know which is the right team.
Bad at math.
Team crab people.
Not good at
It's
math.
all about these guys right here.
The crabs.
R.I.P. the crab feeder.
Yeah.
I really thought that guy was going to be way more important.
Which guy? Oh, the twin?
The crab feeder.
From last season?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for like his like wronged wife to show up with like a giant crab or like a dire wolf or something.
That was a dead and gone storyline. Thank goodness it went away.
Yeah, I was expecting more from that too. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
He
I
had a
remember
really
last
cool
season you
mask.
kept making fun of the crab war.
Yeah,
I mean, the
because
crab war was memorable.
in the trailer they would show people saying ridiculous crab-related lines for like the
And they
next
had a
week, and then I'd be like, oh my god, what's
great
gonna happen?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be. You know how
Yeah.
like the Night King is like the winter bad guy. Like, what if the crab feeder was like the summer version?
Oh yeah, the South Pole bad guy.
Okay, I'm very worried for Bela because Rhaenyra sends Bela to watch over King's Landing. Why do they keep sending these children on their dragons to go do these really dangerous missions?
How many people have dragons? It's all those kids. Only children have dragons now, except for Daemon and Rhaenyra. Everybody else is a baby.
They all have
Oh
dragons.
wait, not Corlys. Wait, Corlys doesn't have a dragon.
Corlys
His wife
does not
does.
have a
Rhaenys.
dragon.
Rhaenys has a dragon.
Rhaenys has a dragon. Corlys does not have a dragon. We know that Dragonstone has more dragons, but the problem is they have Vhagar over on Team Green. Now I'm worried for Bela and Moondancer because she's supposed to go and see what's happening in King's Landing. Because remember, King's Landing has all those scorpions now. The scorpions are all over the place. So like, I feel like there should be no dragon flying happening. What kind of order is that? What's going on?
I'm thinking about the scorpions now. Did they act like that was a technological marvel in Game of Thrones? Because why would it if they had them during this season?
Well, because in Game of Thrones, when the story starts, there hadn't been dragons for many, many centuries.
That's right. Yeah, they forgot that it was even a thing.
So that was like a
That makes
lost,
sense.
I guess, technology. And then when they see Daenerys, she comes out with her dragons. That's when Cersei's maester went through the books and saw what they used to build back in the day, and then they built the scorpion in Game of Thrones.
That maester was better than I gave him credit for.
Yeah, he was a smart dude. Qyburn, who was basically Frankenstein. He made the mountain zombie.
God, how do you go from this like character driven, like my child is dead, what is the consequence of war, to zombie brother fight? Oh my God, we got twins fighting here. We had the mountain and the.
I was gonna say rank the brother fights. Which one was better, the mountain and the hound, or the twin fight?
The twin fight. The twin fight.
Twin fight.
Best.
Yeah,
more consequential.
It was just more tragic because of what we talked about already. Like, he went because Criston told him to go, and then the other one was there, didn't want to do it, then he had to, and then he killed himself. It was horrible. Yeah. I actually felt more emotional watching that. And then like the brother fight happened in season 8 when season 8 was making no damn sense in any which way anyway. So
it was like a dragon in the background, the two guys looking at each other, falling off the tower.
What's the purpose of this? And that's after he told, hey, Arya, don't kill. And she's like, okay, I'm leaving now.
Literally watching Otto Hightower be upset about the idiots surrounding him is like far more interesting emotionally than the Clegane Bowl fight at all.
That was good. That was a good scene with
Is this
Otto.
show better than Game of Thrones? Can we say that now?
I think we have to wait until it's over to really see that. Yeah.
And it's not better than Game of Thrones at its best.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but I agree with you.
I do think the show is good. What else do I have here? What did you guys think of that move though of Rhaenyra letting Mysaria free? Did you think that was stupid of her, or like a good thing, or neutral?
I don't know what she was thinking.
Yeah, I don't
it's
either.
I feel like it's gonna bite her in the ass.
I thought she was very valuable because she has so much secrets and knows everybody who goes in and out of the palace in King's Landing. Why would you let her go? Why would you do that?
Well, according from the viewpoint of the show, the move has already saved her life at least once because Missaria is supposedly the one that saw the other twin coming in. So,
I
in
still
that
wish they
sense,
had
it was a
shown
good
that.
move.
I wish that was explicit.
Yeah. Yes, true. Which now makes me think: is this gonna make Massaria want to stay and help Rhaenyra? I don't know. Or is she gonna leave still?
You know who stayed? You know who stayed, guys? The dog. The dog is
Oh,
okay.
that was heartbreaking. It's like the
Yeah.
dog didn't realize it was being abused. It's sad. Its master's dead.
That
But it's
dog,
alive.
that dog has been through a hell of a 2 weeks, let me tell you.
That dog is a more interesting character than Euron Greyjoy.
He was so sad. Euron. We keep
Yeah,
bringing
fuck
back this
Euron.
when we want to freaking Game of Thrones.
Euron finger in the bum Greyjoy.
Oh my god, he became a
Why
once
is that a line from Game of Thrones?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, Alicent walks in towards the end, towards Aegon crying, and I literally wrote, "Aegon is caught crying. I don't care. Fuck this guy." What did you guys think?
I thought that was good. That was a good scene. Oh my god, we didn't even talk about his sister wife.
We did a little bit. I mean, Helena is very, very like I think she's just traumatized and just walking very numbly because like she saw the murder of her kid. So it's very
No, I
understandable.
feel like no one is supporting her. We didn't see her mom with her. Obviously, her husband's not paying attention to her. Like, no one was around her except her handmaidens. Like, what? That poor girl.
Oh, and we didn't talk about the fact that Alicent was ready to talk about she was banging Criston Cole because she walked in on them, but then Helena is not here trying to talk about it. So is that gonna come back? What's gonna happen?
Would they fire him? He's the hand, though. Can the hand fuck the queen? Can the hand fuck the queen?
He's a gold cloak though, and they're supposed to be pure. So he's not supposed
Do
to be
you
doing
stop
that.
being a gold cloak when you become the hand?
I don't
It
know.
would ultimately be up to Aegon at the end of the day anyway.
You may fuck my mom.
I think Aegon didn't comfort her.
It is law.
Yeah. I think Aegon didn't comfort her when he walked by her because he didn't know how. I mean, possibly. It's not like they're an actual love match. It was a strategic political marriage.
But they're brother and sister. He used to defend her when they were kids. I remember they used to be like,
no, he
buddy,
didn't.
buddy.
He said no, he did not
Yeah.
defend her. He would call her an idiot and that they had nothing in common. Because remember, they think she's
Yeah,
like,
but he would bring her along.
what are you talking about? No, he didn't.
Why do I remember him like defending his like weird little sister?
Because Aemon was like, you should just do your duty. And then Aegon was like, we have nothing in common.
It was a long season.
I love your Aemon. I mean, Aegon. Aegon. Oh my God, these names.
Aegon. Okay, he's crying because he's grieving, or he's crying because he realizes he's an idiot for firing his grandfather.
I think
What do
he's
we think?
sad. I think he's sad about his child.
About his
Yeah,
kid?
I think it's the kid.
The kid. Okay. Why are you laughing?
I think it's the fact that his kid got his head cut off. That's why he's crying.
I also like felt for him when he didn't want to do the PR move. He's like, we're gonna use my baby boy as this whole like song and dance. Like, man, I felt for that piece of shit. He's a bad guy, but I felt for him.
Yeah, good character.
Stop being Team Green.
I guess
I'm
I
Team
am kind of
Black.
like flowing towards Team Green in this
What
episode.
the hell, Andres?
In
Why?
this episode. In this episode.
You can't be
This
Team
episode was
Green.
about a little kid got his head cut off and Team Green is sad.
They are.
So that's pretty relatable. I'm sorry.
I love watching them be sad. Good TV.
You know what? It's a good thing. I want him to be sad so he could keep making dumb, impulsive moves. Be sad. Be emotional. Keep doing it.
Are we scared of any character in the next episode? Scared for or scared of? Like I worry about Daemon. He's out there.
Oh yeah, he went to Harrenhal, I think.
Harrenhal.
What is he? Harrenhal. What is he doing there again?
It's like
Is
building
this
an
the one
army
that?
or something?
Wait, when was Harrenhal burnt?
Back when Aegon the Conqueror.
Okay, so it's already burnt.
Yeah, it's already.
Then he's not gonna burn it.
Like a melty castle. No, because they need to go there to get support, right?
Yeah, he's just building an army in favor of Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. Okay. We're gonna see more of that next. I feel like somebody was saying something and then it was cut off.
Well, I wanted to know if we were scared for anyone's life.
Oh, okay. Scared for anybody's life? Well, I mentioned it. I'm worried about Moondancer and Bela. They're going to King's Landing. Scorpions are there.
That's not gonna good. I don't know.
I feel like we don't
we're
know
losing
them that
dragons.
much either. So
I know, but they're on Team Black.
yeah, but it's hard to be
And then it's also
scared
like,
for somebody that you kind of just remembered existed this episode.
but it's
Yeah, literally.
also
And where's her sister? There's two of them.
it's also someone's child again, though. So I feel like every time someone's child is involved, that it's things are getting very dicey because then that makes somebody else act, emotional, or and there's revenge. So that's why I'm concerned about it.
Where the fuck is her sister?
There are two. I don't know where she is.
I don't know her name. I just know she's got a sister.
Her name is Rhaenyra. So many of these names sound very
Rhaenyra.
Yeah, Rhaenys, Rhaenyra. Yeah. We'll call them Ray.
I can't wait for the return of the Small Folk show. We got like 5 minutes of it. I really liked it, and I want to know what's going to happen there.
I want to know what Hugh the Hammer is going to be doing, because like he has a sick daughter.
Was he one of the people in the who spoke to the king?
Yeah.
What was his request?
He was the smith. I think he was saying like building the scorpions is very expensive.
And so like he needed an advance, basically.
Okay. I couldn't remember, but glad they established him.
They still don't have that advance. And the wife, I think now is kind of like putting a little bit of pressure and some concern because they're starving and their daughter is sick.
Yeah, she was literally making like grass soup.
And she had to walk 2 hours to get chicken or something.
Yeah, and she paid 3 times as much as she should have. Sounds like post-COVID.
Yeah.
She should probably move closer to the chicken.
It costs a lot of money to move, Andres.
It's time to go.
Cool. I think we covered all the things. I'm looking at my notes really quickly. Does anybody have anything else they wanted to mention or talk about?
Just really happy I saw a crab.
I don't even remember that scene. You're a crab.
The guy was holding a crab. He pulled it out of the stand.
You got to rewatch that whole hour-plus long episode, Melissa, so you can see the crab.
There's no way. Awesome. So thank you guys so much for joining us. And remember, we'll be live every single week. So hit subscribe and hit the bell so that you can get notified when we go live. I'm going to hang backstage and say goodbye to my friends. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.